and welcome to my Carolina homestead. Here in the Carolinas, it's that time of year where the mosquitoes are out and they are biting like crazy. So today I'm making a bug balm that will also double as a bug repellent. If you want to use this as strictly bug repellent, you can adjust the recipe and make it a thinner consistency so that it absorbs into the skin a little better. I'm starting this recipe off with beeswax pellets, and I'm going to put these in this mason jar because this is going to be double boiled down in that saucepan that's on the burner. So to this I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of beeswax. In the meantime, my pot is on the burner at medium-low, and I'm allowing this to come up to temperature just warm enough so that it melts the contents in the jar. Now if you are going to make this recipe as a bug repellent, then you're going to only add 2 tablespoons of beeswax to your mixture. Now I'm adding 1/8 of a cup or 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then 1/4 cup of coconut oil. If you're making this as a bug repellent, your adjustment to this recipe would just be it would be 1/4 cup of olive oil instead of 1/8. You would still use the 1/4 cup of coconut oil. But since I'm making a balm out of this, I have 3 tablespoons of beeswax, 1/8 of a cup of olive oil, and 1/4 cup of coconut oil. And I'm going to let the water in this pot stay on a low simmer, and I'm going to continue to stir and melt the contents inside this jar, making sure to remove the jar from the water occasionally so that the contents don't get too hot. The reason that I do that is because I'm going to finish this recipe off with quite a bit of essential oils, and I don't want those essential oils to evaporate once I put them in the melted mixture. So I'm just going to leave my burner on medium-low. I'm going to be patient and continue to stir this mixture until it melts. I'm going to remove this jar occasionally from the water to ensure the contents don't get too hot, and just continue to stir. This recipe is going to make about 4 ounces of balm, so I have 2 2-ounce containers here that I have saved from previous skincare. I try to save containers so that I don't have to purchase them when I'm making products for personal use. When I do that, I will just remove the labels and boil them in water to sanitize them, and also take out any residue that was left in the containers so that I can use them again. Again, I'm still stirring, waiting for the contents to melt. This process is really quick. Overall, it takes about 15 minutes to make this bug balm or bug repellent, whichever you're deciding to make. So it's super quick, and depending on how you store this, it could last you up to a year. I'm going to store mine in these 2 white plastic containers. They're completely opaque, so no light can get to them, and I'm just going to make sure that they are kept cool. If you store yours in clear glass, make sure that you keep your containers in a closed cabinet so that they are not exposed to light. The contents of my jar have finally melted, and now what I'm left with is a clear oil base, which I'm ready to add essential oils to. I'm just adding the oil to the double boiler one more time to make sure that the contents of the jar are warm enough to stay liquid until I can get the essential oils added and get them poured into the containers. Now what I'm doing is just testing the contents of the jar. I take the chopstick and put a couple drops on my hand. If the oil feels hot on my skin when it drops, that means it's too hot for me to add the essential oils. If it does not feel hot, then I can go ahead and add my essential oils and be confident that they're not going to evaporate. So for the essential oils, I'm going to start off with chamomile. I have Roman chamomile, and I'm going to put in 15 drops. You can use any type of chamomile that you have. They all work well in this particular recipe. So back into the double boiler to keep this oil mixture liquid. And then I'm going to move on to the next essential oil, and that is going to be rosemary. And to this I'm going to add 10 drops of rosemary. I'm just going to add this back into the pot to make sure that my oil mixture doesn't start to firm up on me. And now I'm going to continue adding my essential oils. Next is tea tree. I'm going to use 10 drops of tea tree oil in this mixture. You can use whatever essential oils you want, but just make sure that you know the proper dilution ratio for the amount of balm that you're making. And you also want to make sure that you're choosing essential oils that are good for soothing the skin or stopping itch or stopping burn, and that's why I've chosen all of these. Next I'm adding peppermint essential oil, and I'm going to add 15 drops. Next I'm going to add 10 drops of lemon essential oil. Next I'm adding 10 drops of lavender essential oil. Now that I have all my oils added and they're stirred in really well, it's time to pour my balm mixture into my containers. This pot is designated specifically for skincare items that I make, and because of that I'm just going to tip that oil jar over inside that water and give it a spin and help melt the contents out so I can clean the jar. The pot cleans very easily, so while my lip balm is setting up, I'm going to set that aside so that continues to melt. You want to give the bug balm about 3 hours to fully solidify. Once they're completely solid, they're ready to use. As always, I want to thank you for stopping by my Carolina homestead today. If you make this bug balm or bug repellent, please let me know in the comments below and let me know how it works for you. If you enjoyed this video or videos like this, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and click that notification bell for more videos coming soon. See you next time and take care.